Just as the scientists were about to attach a device to the giant shark's head, it suddenly woke up. Susan continued extracting protein fluid from its brain and injected it into the brain of a human patient. Almost immediately, the brain cells became active. This meant a potential cure for Alzheimer's had been found. After the research facility was attacked, Susan returned the shark to its cage. During a rescue attempt in a storm, disaster struck. As a helicopter lowered a rope, the steel cable got stuck. Mateo was horrified to see the shark carrying a researcher in its jaws, heading straight for the lab. Seawater began flooding in. The team quickly sealed the hatch. It turned out Susan and the others had violated protocol. The side effect: the sharks had become stronger and smarter. Now, the three sharks were out for revenge. One of them had already breached the facility. Mateo hid inside an oven as the shark repeatedly slammed into it. Using a fire axe, he broke open a hole in the top. The kitchen was filled with gas. Mateo pulled out a lighter and ignited an explosion, taking out the shark. Elsewhere, the team discovered their submarine was destroyed. Mateo suggested swimming up, while Noah proposed taking the elevator shaft. The two argued. Standing near the pool, Mateo eventually agreed to Noah's plan. But before he could finish his sentence, a shark swallowed him whole. The elevator shaft was blocked by fire. They switched to using the stairs. Suddenly, they heard noises behind a hatch. It was Mateo. He had survived and pulled them to safety. Carter and his teammate headed to the flooded control room, while Mateo and Susan stayed behind. Susan made a secret decision to leave alone. Carter's team reached the control room successfully. A shark appeared and attacked Noah. Carter opened the hatch and escaped, where Mateo helped him up once again. Susan yanked out a high-voltage cable and shoved it straight into the shark's mouth. Meanwhile, Carter used a fire extinguisher as a decoy. The bubbles confused the shark. The three surfaced, but then, Mateo was dragged off by another shark. The remaining two swam toward the shore. Underwater, Mateo used a cross to stab the shark in the eye. He surfaced again, and Carter and his teammate helped treat his wounds. But soon, they realized the base was sinking. They sprang into action. Susan cut her palm and leapt into the water to lure the shark away. It took the bait and swallowed her whole. Carter jumped onto the shark's back. Mateo grabbed a harpoon gun from the ground and fired, skewering both Carter and the shark together. Then, Mateo pressed the wire onto a battery terminal. An electric blast surged through the water, mixing blood and seawater into a towering spray. Carter emerged from the surface. He and Mateo were the only survivors of the disaster.